Hi, my darlings. I just felt like I needed to create this video straight away with no makeup and my hair rollers in. So just embrace it while I drop some value for you. So I just got off a one-on-one mentoring call with a new team member. And by the way, you can always book in a call with me anytime you like so that I can help you one-on-one. But basically what I just covered with this new team member was how to, when you're starting from zero and you're starting from zero followers and that kind of thing, how to get your first few customers and team members. So this new member of mine said she'd been reaching out to a few people and the conversations were going great. But then when she asked a question like, can I share with you a bit more about my business? People would generally say, oh, no, thank you. I'm not interested. And honestly, yeah, like that's probably the answer that you're going to get if you ask a question like that. So I thought what I could do, I shared with her, I'm going to share with you as well, some strategies where you can attract people to ask you about what you do. And then, if they're asking, you can say as much as you want, right? So we're looking at, there's two ways that people start to learn about your business. You've got, or that people get started. It's inbound and outbound. Okay. So inbound means people who've come to you saying, hey, I want to join your team. Hey, I want to try your product. And outbound is when you're reaching out to people to see if they may be interested in what you do. And that's the one where it's important to make sure that it's not too spammy or pitchy, because nobody likes being sold to, and yet everyone wants to buy. Okay. So let's start with how you can outbound in a way that's not too spammy. So the first thing, our upline, Alan Lorenz, who may he rest in peace, he was an absolute Herbalife nutrition legend. In fact, he was and still is to this day one of the most successful Herbalife distributorships in the world. He reached a level called Founder's Circle, which means that he's helped over 10 people in 10 separate branches of his team to become President's Team. And actually, he had hundreds and hundreds of President's Team members in the generations below. So he said that his key strategy was to be interested more than interesting. Okay, so what that means is care about people, ask them interested questions, get to know them, ask them what do they do, ask them what do they enjoy doing, ask them where they got that from, ask them what they would advise you with if you see something on their social media and they're making this or they're doing that. Ask them some questions about it. Be interested. Now, the more interested you are, if they've been brought up half decently, anyone knows that, let's say, for example, if you ask them, oh, what do you do? And, what is it that you do? More often than not, after they tell you, they're going to be polite enough to say, how about you? What is it that you do? And then you've got an open door to say, actually, I've just recently started my own new business. I've started partnering with the #1 nutrition brand in the world. I started using the products myself and completely transformed my health. Here's my transformation photo, by the way. So now I'm really passionate about helping other people to get their own transformations in a sustainable way. And, I'm also mentoring other people how to do the same. We're all, teamwork makes the dream work. Something like that, right? Like they ask you, so you can say it. And you can also say to them, by the way, I really appreciate your support with my new business. Do you know anyone who I might be able to help? They can either recommend you to someone, or they could say, oh, actually, I'm looking to lose a few pounds, or, oh my God, your hair transformation's amazing. Like, what did you use to get that hair growth? Now we're in. You're not spamming anyone. Because they asked you in return, what do you do? It's an open game. Okay. So that's advice number one. Second piece of advice for outbounding is, this comes from Karen Smith, who's an absolute powerhouse 20K President's Team member in South Africa. So highly successful boss babe woman. And she looks unbelievable. She's 50 years young and she looks about 25. Anyway, she and her team, they have a challenge with each other to see how many people they can genuinely reach out to in 1 hour. And they aim to reach out to 100 to 150 people in that time frame. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh my God, is that even possible? Could I do that? That sounds like a lot of people. But the interaction doesn't have to be a lot. It can be, first of all, you can think about, okay, what's my target audience? Do I want to reach out to people who are located in the same region as me? In which case you can search for your location and find other people who've also tagged themselves in that location. You can search hashtags for other people who are similar to you. Any of these kind of methods to help you find people who are just like you. Then like a few of their posts, comment genuinely on a few of their posts, maybe even comment a question to ask them about their post so that then they reply back and a little conversation started. Watch their story, respond to a couple of their stories. And you can do this just bam, 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 have fun with it, put some music on, get it going, and just see how many people you can engage genuinely with who are like your like-minded people. Now, what is the purpose of doing that? Well, what it does is it puts you out there in front of, it makes a lot of people notice you. So a percentage of those people are going to go, who's this person? Who's this person who's liked a few of my things? Who's this person who's reacted to my story? I don't recognize their name. Then they're going to go to your profile on Instagram or whichever, I'm talking about Instagram specifically here, but you could do it on some other platforms. They're going to look at they're probably going to click on your story. And then they're going to look at the rest of your page. Now, this is why the second really important thing to do, and now we're kind of going towards inbound, right? Attracting people to come to you and to reach out to you. You've got to be posting at least once, if not up to 3 times a day on your social media, on your Instagram. Utilize all of the things that Instagram has to offer. Things like reels, things like going live. And if these things scare you, they absolutely terrified the pants off me when I got started too, but it just gets easier. Then when you start to get the hang of it, it starts to get really, really fun because you don't have to go live and talk about your products and your business every single time. You don't have to create every single reel about your products and your business. In fact, what's better to do is to do lots of fun things, lots of relatable things, things that maybe your ideal person who you'd love to have as a customer or a team member is going to relate to. So you can have a nice healthy balance of, more than half of your posts being fun, being relatable, being something that's giving people value, uplifting them, making them feel good, any of that kind of stuff where you're adding value in some kind of entertaining, inspiring, or educational way. And then also dotted amongst your posts, you can create a few reels, maybe like a transformation reel of how you went from this to this, or a funny reel about business or being part of the team, or how your life has changed since being part of the team, or something to do with our 21-day rebalance challenges, or anything like that, right? So that more often than not, and this is some advice that I got from a girl who's very successful in network marketing, she said that her more relatable and funny content, like if she does a relatable reel, will be the ones that tend to go viral. And then that audience of new people, viral means that the video is being shown to more people than her followers. Some of them will then go, oh, let's look at all of her reels. And then they'll discover the other reels that she's created, which are maybe more about the business and more about the products. Now, make sure on any kind of, have a look at my Instagram and you will notice that not all, but the majority of my posts have some kind of call to action at the bottom of the caption. Feel free, if there's any that you like, that you resonate with, that you think, oh yeah, that sounds really good, feel free to just straight up copy it or tweak it or model it or recycle it so that you have calls to action on your page as well. That way, when people see something, then they like it and they're interested, you're giving them a clear instruction of click the link in my bio to fill in the form to join us, or message me the word team if you're interested in finding out more, or message me the word healthy, or whatever your call to action is, so that then it's so simple. And then when I do those clear calls to action, then I check my inbox and I have a few people who text me that word. Okay. So the final thing that I will say, I think it's the final thing, is that I've learned something new here about how to talk about your products and your services in a way that people actually care about. Because believe it or not, people don't go onto their Instagram thinking, I want to buy something today. They go on their Instagram for entertainment, for connection, for energy. And what we can do is connect to our potential customers by always thinking, anytime you talk about your product or your business, you want to think, what's in it for them and how does this solve their problems? Okay. So for example, this is not a good method. If you just post a picture of your shake, and I've done this many times, post a picture of your shake in the morning and go, this is so yummy, and it contains 25 vitamins and minerals and 25 grams of protein. Like, great, you're slightly educating your audience, but they're going to be sat there watching it and going, what's in it for me, and how does this solve any of my problems? And you haven't addressed either of those things. Whereas what I did today was slightly different. I said, I had a beautiful video of me pouring my shake. And by the way, I use this marble piece of paper as a backdrop. You can get one from Amazon as a nice background. And I said, did you know, if you start your day by skipping breakfast or by having a high carbohydrate or high sugar breakfast, this can lead to you gaining an extra 2 to 10 grams of fat daily, energy dips, lapses in your concentration, and more cravings for junk food. And then I did the next one, another picture of my shake, and I said, what my customers find when they start having, this is why I love having, I said something like, this is why I love having my healthy nutritional shakes, smoothies and waffles every single day, because they give my body all the nutrition it needs. Okay, so now they're already thinking, ooh, potentially what's in it for me? Well, I suffer with cravings. I have been watching myself gain weight, and I've been trying to skip breakfast because I'm trying to lose weight, but oh my gosh, that could lead to me gaining weight. So all of a sudden they're involved. They're like, oh, what's in it for me? And then how does this solve my problem? So I'm already kind of touching on that. And I said something else. I said something like, the first things that my customers usually notice in the first few days is they have more energy, they start to feel more toned, their skin is glowing, and their cravings are going down. And then I had a little clear call to action. I did a poll on my Instagram story, and I said, would you like to try any samples? And would you like me to send you some samples, I think I said. And on the left, I put the word yes. So the yes people can just press that button. And on the right side, I didn't have no. I put the word questions. So that anyone who's like on the fence or wants to ask me, can I have it? Is it vegan? Is it this? Is it that? How much does it cost though? Any of those on the fence people, they have a button to press. Then I'll message all of those people. The question people, I'll say, hey, Mary, thank you so much for voting on my Instagram story about trying some samples. I saw that you said that you have some questions. Fire away. What questions can I help to answer for you today? The people who say yes, you could say, hey, Mary, thank you so much for voting on my story. I see that you'd like some samples. I'd be happy to send you some. What country are you in? So I can check if they're available in your country. In fact, you could ask that question to both audiences. And another question that's good to get out of the way is, have you ever tried Herbalife Nutrition before? And if they've said yes, if they've said, yeah, I had a coach recently, I haven't used it for a few months or whatever, encourage them to go back to their coach, because you're not going to like it if someone steals your customers. So make sure that you don't steal somebody else's customers, okay? But if they haven't tried the products before, or it's been like 10 years or whatever, then fair game. You can help them to get started. Then obviously check the list of countries, make sure that Herbalife Nutrition is in that country. That's available in the international resources and events. There's a link to show you the list of countries, or on My Herbalife, there's a list of countries as well. And then look up how much the trial pack is in their country. The trial pack will contain usually 6 servings of shake and 6 servings of tea. So anyone who buys a trial pack from you, they can get basically almost a week's worth of breakfasts sorted, 6 days of breakfast sorted. That you can also add them to our Telegram customer support group for that time, and you can check in with them, chat with them, share your breakfast, share your healthy snacks and meals on a one-to-one basis throughout that week as well. So they're basically getting the most amazing experience and support and trying the products for a week. Usually about 50% of those people will then upgrade to buying full-size shake, full-size tea, or expanding on the other products that they've seen us use in the support chat. If you give them the right support and you ask them at the end, so would you like to upgrade? Can I help you to order any of the full-size products, right? So I think I've covered a lot of things. Okay, the last thing I'll just say about inbounds is that in the early days, you might not get many inbounds. Some people get quite a few in their first month, which is cool. Maybe they have already quite an engaged audience. But if you don't, be patient. It requires consistency. It requires you engaging with all of these other people and producing content and getting better all the time with practice, it can take months before you get your first inbound. So in the meantime, you can focus on reaching out to people, being interested rather than interesting. When they ask you about what you do, you can tell them. And most people's first customers are a couple of their friends and family. So don't forget about the people that you know in your real world. Make them a shake when they come over. Bring your tea with you and make 2 cups of tea when you're around having a chat with one of your friends. Allow your friends and family to try the products and let them know, look, this is my new little side business. This is my new business that I'm doing. If you like it, I'd love you to support me. You're welcome to order anything and it will really support my business. There's nothing wrong with saying that either. And that's how a lot of people maybe even get their first 4 or 5 customers, get 500 volume points and hit their first promotion in the business. So that's like a superpower mini 15-minute training on how to inbound, how to outbound, how to do it offline, and how to build your social media. I hope you found it useful. I just wanted to cram it all into one video. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, never hesitate to ask me or your sponsor in the business. We are here to help. And thank you for handling this. Bye.